Hello everybody, welcome to Ball Street, a very happy Ball Street and a very happy sort of podcast review, last eight preview, everything you need, but ultimately we're going to talk about England and the fact that they could very well, and this is not a deluded statement, win the World Cup. Rory is here, and he's very happy, that's why he's got his celebratory shorts on, and Sam is here as well.
Yes.
We've had a whole trip, so much has gone on in the last week or so since we were in this studio.
Oh my God.
But I think the best place to start is it's got to be last night and beating Colombia, winning a penalty shootout after 22 years. I don't know, do you remember Euro 96? Do you remember the
I remember that.
I remember the penalties. I remember the last time we won it. Spain, Stuart Pearce screaming. And I tell you what, nothing's changed. 22 years on, the intensity of wanting something like that and getting it and the ups and downs of it.
The explosion of it all. Just everybody burst when Eric Dyer and Kieran Trippier banging in penalties for England in the first.
Kieran Trippier.
Unreal penalties.
Kieran Trippier is one of the most remarkable football players that I never knew was a remarkable football player. He was.
I remember doing our formation thing. I don't think you either said you didn't want him in the squad or you weren't bothered about him being in the squad.
I think I was happy for him to be in the squad, but I don't think he made my starting lineup. Whereas now he'd be the first name on the team sheet. I think Kieran Trippier, John Stones, Harry Maguire have been out of this world. And you're absolutely right, James. There's a reminiscent feeling in the country at the moment that can only be likened to what happened in 1996. The whole country does seem to be coming together. There seems to be a buzz around the place. The flags are out. They're in the car windscreens. And long may it continue. It's so exciting. And I think, you said it in your introduction there that the potential of winning the World Cup is there.
There's a clear pathway there.
Mate,
it's on.
I truly believe. I've been saying it since the tournament started, but I now actually believe it.
Yeah, at the start I was saying it because I wanted to say it, but now I'm saying it because I truly 100% believe.
I think it was for everyone who's British humour, wasn't it, at the start? And there's nothing like that's to be enjoyed.
And you back your team. That's what you do as a football fan. You back your team.
Yeah, for me, I needed that game. I needed the Colombia game to win it. Now it feels like there's this different kind of sense of kind of relief, and I'm looking forward to the next game.
I can't wait. I wish it was. the fact that it's Saturday at 3 o'clock. What a buzz it's going to be. What a buzz London's going to be then. It's going to be fantastic. And do you know what? Last night when they got that last-minute equaliser, it was a heartbreaker. I genuinely felt so
sinking feeling.
Yeah, it was an awful feeling and felt so flat and dejected, and you never know. You suddenly think, God.
Especially the way they behaved.
Exactly, and it worked. And the way that they'd approached the game, and I've got no time with that. I don't disagree with what Sam said there.
Complete dicks.
They are, but I weirdly have a sort of admiration for that. I think that I'm a fan of the dark arts of the game, and they approached the game knowing that they could try and rile England, knowing that they wanted to engage England in a battle to see if England had the minerals for the fight. That was their game plan. It nearly worked, but it didn't work because we were resolute. We had enough resolve to fight back, push back, and when it really mattered, come out on top. And I think that what happened last night is so magical. It will stay with us all forever, and I think that it's going to galvanise this team now to a level that we haven't seen.
As England fans and as a team, the press as well, in terms of how they can spin things, you could hear the commentary yesterday dropping in little facts about penalties. Gabriel Clark, last question he asked Gareth Southgate before the game starts, and are they prepared for penalties? Stuff that doesn't need to be said and isn't helpful can go away now. They've released the valve on that. One thing I would want to say about England fans is if you've turned your back on England before, don't do it again.
Also, what I'd say is if you have turned your back on England before, don't be jumping on the bandwagon now. Don't be jumping on the bandwagon now. It's brilliant.
But there is a huge part of the nation that is certainly doing that right now. And I'll tell you need to really have a think now and go, right, is this a team that I support or not? And if you are supporting them, you can't.
But how can you not? Imagine being the bloke who isn't on this bandwagon. Imagine being the bloke who isn't feeling the buzz that we're all feeling right now. Everyone watching the video, I imagine 95% of the people watching this video will be feeling like we are.
What, you're saying there's 5% is going to be sitting there going,
Imagine being a little moron who sits there with these little things drafted in his Twitter thing, ready to send. He's got the Colombian flag as his avatar.
You mean Daily Mail's
Imagine being that mug. How do you feel now?
That's it. Well, so look, if you want the karma to come back to you, the goodwill to come back to you, if you're one of those people, go in the comments right now and just write sorry. Just write sorry right now, okay? Because I did say we've got to get behind the lads.
Yeah.
We're getting behind the lads now, and that's fine. We can move forward from here. But last thing, say sorry.
Just apologise. Thank you.
Yeah.
What next? Sweden next. There'll be a preview on the Bull Street channel, and we can talk about that then. There are other teams in this tournament still, and there are some quarterfinals that are going to be taking place. Let's just
Only
go
8
through a
teams.
few of them.
Only 8. We're one of them.
Come on! Everything! Yeah,
teams.
means everything. Ross Kemp, yeah. Go on Twitter and find Ross Kemp's little moment on Twitter, which he still has not taken down.
Please never take that down.
On Friday, it's going to be Uruguay versus France.
Huge.
The meanest defence probably in the tournament, I would say.
Well, Colombia's were pretty damn mean.
Yeah. Well, not mean enough.
Not mean enough.
Well, actually, it kind of was mean enough, but the goalkeeper's brilliant.
I would back Uruguay in that game.
Really?
I genuinely would back Uruguay.
The last 2 times I played in the tournament have both been 0-0 draws.
Right.
And so I don't want to use that as any kind of bearing on this one, but France's attack is fantastic, but I think it can be shut down a little bit. And Uruguay
I mean, I think you're always very privileged as a nation when you have a club partnership replicating itself.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've got the Atletico Madrid partnership at the back, and I think Godin is probably the best defender in the tournament.
Oh, well, Harry Maguire might disagree with that.
I think Harry Maguire, John Stones, Kieran Trippier could all disagree with that valiantly. And in fact, I'd probably make that case if it wasn't me saying it. But trying to be slightly less biased, which is boring, but I'll do it anyway. Godin is just incredible, isn't he?
They've been
and
fantastic.
that partnership, they've got such a good understanding. They're so hard to break through. And when you have that sort of defence, and then you've got like Superman himself up front in Suarez and Cavani playing the way that he's playing,
well, that's the problem
anything
they've got,
can happen.
Cavani is an injury doubt. If he's not playing, you saw when he went off in that game, they did struggle for that last little period of time. So, I mean, I guess it's the last.
But they were winning as well. They were winning.
That's true. But I can see. We've been waiting for the final part of the Suarez trilogy. This could be the one, because if they don't have Cavani playing, then they're going to get frustrated. I actually think France will win this one. I think it'll be close, but I think they've got so much quality. Yeah. I think they'll do it. Kante, any team that's got Kante, I just think...
Mbappe playing like the way he's playing.
It's frightening.
Mate, when a centre forward or a forward-thinking player is picking the ball up in his own half, running the length of the pitch and creating a goal... you're all right, aren't you?
And France did score 4 against Argentina, so they're going to come into this buzzing. Because France, they've got so much expectation on them going into this tournament. They were one of the pre-tournament favourites, and they were really quite crap for the first 3 games. They got through.
Although so were Uruguay. Weirdly, with Uruguay, their first 3 games, they were terrible, but they won them, which they've never done before. So it was a weird moment for Uruguay, because you were looking at them going, "You're not very good." But it's the first time in their history that they've ever taken 9 points from a group stage. Really? So it's their best ever return at a time when people were suggesting that it's the worst ever team.
Well, maybe that shows the quality of that group.
Yeah. And that defence, they only need 1 goal, man.
Absolutely. And when you've got Suarez in your team,
you've got more than 1 goal up there.
Still, I just think France will be too much. I think the balance that they've got now with Giroud as well. I just think it's made a huge
but I think Giroud up against Godin and Jimenez, he really does struggle. There's 2 defenders who can shut him down. If you shut Giroud down, he seems to be a focal point, which is bringing all of the France attack together.
He's brilliant, Giroud, as well. Like, obviously as a Chelsea fan, I've been lucky enough to watch him play. And when Arsenal fans used to tell me how good he was, I didn't quite see it. But he's good. And his hold-up play is great. He's a very unselfish player. He brings a lot of people in, very generous. And the other thing about him that people perhaps don't see, because of, I think, the way he looks, like, he might wax his legs and that, but he's double hard. He's double hard. Like, and he backs his mates as well. Whenever there's any grief, he'd be the first one in. Like, if he was in a nightclub, don't be fooled by the white trousers or whatever he's got going on. Like, he'll stick a daiquiri over your head. Like, he's game, really game.
Lovely. I love that. That's amazing. Brazil-Belgium is probably the tie of the quarterfinals. Brazil have only conceded 1 goal so far. Neymar's been a big talking point in terms of the way that he's behaved as much as the way that he's played. I think Casemiro's out for that one.
That's huge.
Yeah, he is.
That's huge.
No, but to be fair, they've still got Fernandinho who could still come off the bench. They've got decent replacements there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fernando got Fred, who's South United hasn't played a minute yet.
Yeah.
But he can operate as a central midfielder. I have no idea what to expect from that game, because against Japan, 2 completely different Belgians turn up. Yeah. First half, atrocious, kind of like they were in the first game against Panama. But then second half, Martinez, people don't consider him to be a good coach, but brings on Chadley, brings on Fellaini. All of a sudden, they start throwing balls into a box against a small Japanese team.
Do you know what, Sam? I've got to counter that, because I put something on Twitter where I'd slated Martinez, And then obviously that happened. You know, the substitutions happened, and people were coming back at me like with Belgian flags, going, you don't know what you're talking about. Martinez, perfect substitutions. I couldn't be bothered to get into it on Twitter, but my point here would be why. The question isn't great work, Martinez. Didn't he do well? The question is why are you 2-0 down against Japan, you moron?
I'm intrigued to see Brazil play someone really good.
Yeah, this is it though.
This is it. Now we are now finding out. I think that is the kind of. I mean, I'm happy not to find out with England, but really, even if we win the next game,
it's in the bag, lads. Don't worry.
Then we play, say, the best team out there next to, which is Croatia and Russia.
Could be Russia.
So say it's Croatia, who you would say are those two of the better teams.
Yeah.
Croatia were awful against Denmark in the second half.
Really
disjointed.
Really bad.
First half they looked good. They looked solid. I thought they had it in the bag. Second half they lost their way a little bit, and it shows that they are a little bit hit and miss at times. And the quality they've got off the bench. Flav put a certain amount of money on the Croatia game, which I won't divulge, but he needed that win, and he thought it was going to be expected. But the players that they brought off the bench, one of whom was Kramaric, who was at Leicester City, was so bad.
He was honing.
And he's supposed to be the guy that's going to kind of get them the win. So my point is that if we end up playing Croatia in the semi-final, that's still not a France, a Germany, a Brazil. None of those guys. We're going to make hopefully, our way to the final without playing a proper team. But Belgium and that other side of the draw, Belgium playing Brazil, we're about to find out.
Yeah, and then they're going to be playing France, probably. Or the winners of France and Uruguay.
Yeah.
So it's a hard run.
Who are you backing then, Brazil or Belgium?
Brazil.
I think you've got to back Brazil just because there is this frailty to Belgium.
I'd never back Martinez.
There's this. I think it's unfair what's the criticism that Martinez gets, because the first season he was at Everton, he did brilliantly. He won the FA Cup with Wigan. He had a great time at Swansea. I mean, he took them down, but he kept them up for 3 years or 2 years or whatever it was.
I think, do you know,
with this squad that was awful.
I think Evertonians will give a very good appraisal of a manager here, and Evertonians aren't fond of him.
I think sometimes it's a sort of status thing, and so exciting young Spanish manager with a Wigan squad, Wigan players are like, wow, teach us. When he then goes to that next level, he hasn't got that Zidane aura. These players are like, why are you telling me what to do? Yeah. I think that still does exist a little bit.
Certainly, but that's probably why he got on Rion.
Yeah.
We spoke to Belgian fans when we went out to Russia, and they're a little bit confused as what he's doing. Like, if you looked at the game against Japan, De Bruyne was effectively playing as like a deep defensive midfielder, and it wasn't until Chadli and Fellaini came on that he was unleashed, and all of a sudden it started to work.
But I understand why he's doing that, don't you think?
I know, but he's got such a talented squad that he's like, I can't leave him out. I can't leave him out either. And he's struggling to find the balance. Up against Brazil, I don't know what that balance is, but you've got to control that midfield. If you let them
and it weirdly
run
might cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. Being too.
I don't think you can't come from 2-0 down against Brazil, surely.
No. And also, I think we just have a moment on Brazil. Neymar's got a lot of grief, as you pointed out, and some of it is understandable. He's still having a really good tournament. He's still playing really well. He's still so dangerous on the ball.
Yeah.
If you were offered a swap, would you swap Neymar for Kane?
No, I wouldn't swap anyone for Harry Kane. I wouldn't swap any of this England team. They're lions, but I do rate Neymar. I rate
Neymar, but
so when people start giving Neymar grief, and they're like, he's a mug, he's crap. I'm just like, he's so good, mate. Yeah.
So that's the second one, Belgium versus Brazil, and obviously we know England, Sweden. As I say, we've got a co-op preview, which we're excited to do for that big match. But Russia versus Croatia.
Yeah, I would probably back Russia to beat Croatia. If you can knock Spain out, why can't you knock Croatia out?
And do you know what else they have, which I think is really exciting for them as a nation? We've already covered how wonderful they've been as a nation for this tournament. But the other thing that they have, most World Cups, you get a breakout player, an exciting player who perhaps nobody had heard of. It's Golovin at this World Cup. He's the player. Suddenly you've got European elite clubs are looking at this lad going, oh my God.
Yeah, we'll have him.
Yeah.
Who's the real Croatia? Is it the team we saw in the
groups? It's the team that smashed Argentina 3-0. That's the real Croatia.
So you think
they've got the most gifted midfield in the whole World Cup?
Yeah, if you're looking at Uruguay having the best central defensive partnership, you're probably looking at Croatia.
Rakitic, Modric. Rakitic, Modric is outrageously good.
And then a lot when Perisic came off as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then up front it's Mandzukic. It's a good team. It's a really good team who are going to be a huge issue for Russia to beat. And if England face either of those, it's going to be tough. But as you pointed out, it's not France, it's not Brazil, it's not Belgium. So
Not Germany.
It's not Germany, certainly not. God, how good was
Auf
that?
Wiedersehen. That's one of the best songs of all time we're out there.
Who would you rather England face?
I think that we have
doping, then I'd rather play Croatia.
I think that we have to. I know this isn't going to make a particularly good chat in a video, but I genuinely think that we have to not care. I think that the England perspective has to be now. Do you know how good we are? I dare you to play us. Not. I hope we've done that. We've
shown, isn't it? Like the first 20 minutes of every game, we've not blitz teams, but we've got at them. We've been confident. You've seen Sterling drop and get it, then Kane drop and get it. Total movement all the time. The movement of this England side, I've never seen anything like it.
Do you know the other thing? It's the commitment to play football. I mean, at times when I was thinking, just get rid of it, just get rid of it. But it's an ethos that they believe in, that they're applying, and that they're committed to, and that is all great.
Yeah,
I didn't think I could ever love Gareth Southgate. But
mate, I love him.
I don't want to be smug about this, but I said give him a chance.
No,
give the guy.
I think
that's got to be the learning, though.
Very rare that I'll say this, James, but I think on this occasion, I think you're entitled to your smuggery.
Thank you.
I think
I'll take it.
I think you called it. I think you called it like when we first became friends now, which is over a year ago. Yeah, I'll let you know when. No, but when we first started working together, over a year ago. We were talking about England, we both had the buzz for England, and I was very, very unenthusiastic and uninspired by Southgate. Yeah, I was still upset as well, yeah. But you called it spot on. I thought this bloke doesn't know what he's talking about. Fucking new geezer I'm working with suddenly ranked Southgate.
Right.
Yeah. And no, you called it spot on. I was wrong, you were right, and he has been a breath of fresh air, not only to this England team, but to the whole of the country and the England framework. You know the way that the FA is run and stuff. There was a time when it was a very closed shop. I was always quite hostile to a foreign English manager. I do think it, and I think that we've seen it there because all due respect to Capello or Wenger and Eriksson, they would have naturally never reacted like that. Why would they have reacted like that?
Yeah,
they support Italy and Sweden.
Yeah.
But Southgate, he's over at the fans. The fans were all singing about like falling in love with him, and he was so enthusiastic and so part of what we're feeling that it just feels fantastic.
It's a massive moment for him as well after '96 as well.
Yeah, it's redemption, isn't it?
22 years later, he's like he can now just close that
See that
book
picture?
and
There's
just
a picture
open the new
of
one.
Terry Venables with hands on his face.
Yeah, and he's doing the exact same thing.
22 years
And
later.
he's vindicated for his decision to arrest a lot of players against Belgium.
Yeah.
You were saying it out there. You're saying this is the game where he's going to be judged. And
it's all about those little things that will get you over the line. And you look at Germany going out. But there's no doubt their squad's one of the best, if not the best in the whole tournament. It's that 10% of hunger, of desire, of resilience, of caring, that you add up all those 10% and it can get you over the line.
Yes, it's such a small margin.
Southgate's stepping more towards the fans and celebrating when it works. There's no doubt he's gone to the players. Get out there and have some selfies with the players. And go enjoy that moment and create that connection. Creates a connection which leads to more resilience, which leads to more confidence, which leads to results, man. Fucking coming out. Right, that's a perfect.
I feel like an England player. Like
please don't go.
Southgate just giving me a speech
you've inspired me, James.
I'm inspired.
Please don't go out to Sweden. If you were wrong, say sorry in the comments. If you are new to the channel, you've just watched this, this is the feeling of England fans. And if you're an England fan or if you just like football and you like that feeling, hit subscribe, click the like button, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.